Hello and welcome to the Woolly Wolverine podcast. This is episode 37, I believe, and it is the 31st of January 2021. We made it through the longest January I think there's been on record. Well, at least for me, I feel it was a very, very, very long month. I think because we're back in lockdown and the weather has been a bit miserable. We haven't been able to get out of the house much, that it just feels like it's gone on forever and ever. But we made it and it's nearly spring. So yeah, basically this is a knitting podcast where I talk about all my knitty endeavours and other crafty endeavours if there's any, and just give you a bit of an update as to how I'm progressing with my current works in progress, things that I want to knit, things that I've finished. I've no finished objects. The last 2 weeks have flown by and I haven't made a huge substantial amount of progress on any of my projects, so this will probably be quite a quick episode. So yeah, nestle in and let's get started. So first, this is my Chuck sweater. I've showed this many times, but for any new viewers, this is a pattern by Andy Satterland. It is a cropped sweater. I knit, so I think it was only actually 2 of these repeats here, and I added in a third, so it would have been like basically a bralette if I had done the 2. But this is one of the first sweaters that I ever knit, and it is my most favourite almost. I love it to death. It is knit in Cascade yarn, Cascade 220 in this lovely burgundy colour. And I got a gleaner over the last 2 weeks. It's the first time I've ever actually had a gleaner, and it has done wonders because this was pilled to death and it has absolutely given it a new lease of life, which is brilliant. So this is my Chuck sweater by Andy Satterland, and I'll link the project down below. Anything I talk about will all be linked in the description box, so if you need to find anything, it should be there. If it's not, leave me a comment and I'll hopefully be able to answer your question. So a lot of the projects that I showed last week, I'll be just showing again this week, and I'll show you the progress I've made. So let's see, where shall I start? Okay, I'll start with my love note, which is the closest to being finished. So the love note is a pattern by Tin Can Knits, and this is mine. So I'll show you the back actually, because I'm knitting my sleeves 2 at a time. I have finished the body. The body is done and there's some lace. So I think a lot of people have knit, I know a lot of people have knit this pattern. Here's the lacy bit, and these are, I've started my sleeves. So I am knitting my sleeves 2 at a time because I'm really bad at picking up sleeve stitches, so I just like to do it all in one go and then just get going with it. So the yarn is Olin Mills in the colourway Interlude, and the mohair is Dusty Rose by Sweet Sparrow, and this is the yarn that I'm using. Isn't it pretty? So yeah, here she is. So yeah, just the sleeves and the neckline to go, and then I am done. So this will definitely be finished by the next time I record. I vow to have this done. Yeah, I just love this colour as well. It's so springy. And I don't knit a lot of lace, and this just needs a little bit of a block and I think it'll be beautiful. But yeah, I really love this colour. Is there anything else I need to say about this? It's knit on very chunky needles, so it's knit up quite quickly. It's on 6mm, which is a US size 10. So it's quite loose and airy, and it's going to be a nice light sweater. So we're nearly there on that one. I'm wrapped up. I've got 4 skeins of yarn attached to it, so it's laborious to move it around. And now the mohair's gone up my nose. delightful. So next up is a test knit that I'm working on for Grace of Babel's Travelling Yarns. It is the Rosemary and Time jumper. I'm knitting it out of John Arbon. I've shown it a good few times now. The last 2 episodes I've shown this, and I've made a good bit of progress. I don't know where I was. I think I put in a progress keeper. Yeah, so I think this is wrong actually from where I podcast last time, but it is, I've knit a good bit of the body. This is John Arbon DK Knit by Numbers. It's quite similar to this. Oh, it's the exact same as this color. It's more purple, and this is more browny red, but it's very close to this color. And yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a yoked sweater. Now, as you can see, I have put it on waste yarn because I wanted to try it on. Fits lovely at the front. It is perfect. I think once I block it, it'll sit nice and flat. However, and I'll put a picture in, there is a little bit of a Quasimodo situation going on in the back, and that is only because I am short-necked. So we've gone back to Grace with feedback, and we may be given the option for less short rows. But I said I could knit back or rip back and start again and remove some of these short rows to give remove some of the fabric. But we were talking in the group, and there were some very good suggestions as to, you know, taking out some of the fabric here. So I have 2 needles in here at the moment, which you may be able to see. So the plan originally, my original plan was to do something like a afterthought heel almost. So cut between the 2 needles and then kind of graft it back together so that it would remove, you know, a chunk. Like I have about 5 rows there, so remove a chunk of that. Then another suggestion was to lift the stitches so that it basically just lifts the rows up and it would fold in the middle, and then you could trim off the excess on the other side. So I found a tutorial for that on YouTube by Lucy Neepy that I'm going to use. Now her one is for the whole way around, so if I was to pick up stitches on both the front and the back and just take up the whole garment, if you get me. So I'm going to fudge it. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to lift the stitches, and then that way I'll be able to see what the fit's like. And then inside there'll be, you know, a fold of fabric that is no longer needed, and we'll trim that out. And then it'll be a bit shorter necked in the back for me, and I think it'll be perfect. I also think blocking will hide a multitude of sins, and I think once I have the full body done and the ribbing, the weight of it will pull down the back a bit as well. So I just a little bit of excess fabric, and I have a lot of hair, so it can be hidden. And the front is perfect, and it is gorgeous yarn. It takes a lot of punishment with, so if I needed to rip back, it wouldn't phase the yarn. It would be perfect and good to go again. But I love these colors. I haven't got a project page for this, but I will link the colors that I've chosen down below. So there is 5 colors in this jumper. So mine are like this grey, this light purple, slightly darker purple, the burgundy, and the pink. But it's gorgeous. I can't wait to have this done. I can't believe this is so close in colour. I didn't realise. This is more red, but yeah. So I'm going to do a job on this. I'll take some pictures and I'll show you the results in the next episode. There is some tweaks coming to this pattern because of the short rows. So we kind of learn as we go, which is good. That's what test knitting is for. And Grace is aiming for a release date of April-May-ish time, so keep an eye out for that, and I'll be sure to keep you updated because it is a gorgeous sweater. It's so squishy and this yarn is to die for. So if you get a chance to knit with John Arbon, make sure you do. So yeah, that's moving along quite well. I'm very happy with the progress, and I'm hoping to get it done in the next month or so. It should be doable indeed. Another project that I am working on is a pair of socks. I showed the finished, the first finished sock about a month ago, I think, and I cast on the second one last week, and I've made a good bit of progress. So I've turned the heel and I am on the foot, and this is the Chanterelle Socks by Norah George or Little Bobbins, and it has this beautiful little ruffle of mohair on the top, and it's just a nice ribbed sock. And I've turned the heel and I'm zooming hopefully down the foot, so hoping to get this done not too long either. Shouldn't take too much longer to get done because I haven't got that big feet. They're average sized feet, and these are going to be perfect in my Doc Martens. The little frill, so cute. I'm actually a child, but anyway. This yarn is the Moon and Sixpence. It's naturally dyed, and this is the Logwood colorway, and this is Fine Fish Yarns mohair, and this is Lilith. And I used this for my Spellman sweater, which I've worn before, but this was leftovers, and yeah, I love it. So hopefully they'll be a finished object. I'm knitting them on Chai Goo 2.5mm. These are the first Chai Goos I've used, and I really like them. I like really sharp needles, and these are quite good. I find my high sharps are sharper, but these are definitely a close second. And the cable is nice and stiff and firm, which is good. Doesn't go too floppy. But yeah, I really love these needles. I love this sock, and this bag is by Spool Stories. It's like little birdies in Avery cages things. And it's cute. So as you know, as you may know, I have about 4 blanket projects on the go, and my goal for January, well, not my goal, my plan in January was to knit on everything and make incremental progress on my projects. And I'm going back to the drawing board a little bit in February, and I'm going to focus on one blanket and not touch any of the other ones. So the chosen blanket for this month, or for February, is going to be my Northeasterly. It is proper like blank. Look at this, it's so squishy. So I've shown this not too long ago, but just wanted to give you a view of, so it's this wide, of where I am, so I'll show it again at the end of February then, and we can see how much progress I made. Now it is really long, so that was the width, and this is the length. So it is beastly. Oh my god, it's such a nice blanket. So it's so nice to knit on this, with this on my lap in the cold evenings here. So I'm kind of, I don't know why I started 2 different columns. So I've this much done on this column and this much done on this column. And by February, I'm aiming to have at least these 2 columns done, but that's a lot of knitting because this blanket is monstrous. This is a lot of different minis, a lot of leftovers, and I am doing it in pastel kind of colours, so muted tones are going in here. There's no mad bright colours on this project. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish at least 2 or 3 blankets this year, and this one is, you know, on its way at least. So I'm going to focus on this solely in February. So I will put a progress keeper into these 2 squares on these columns, and then hopefully in the end of February, if you come back, you'll see how much progress I've made, and hopefully it's lots. But that's the goal for February, is to make a bit of a dent in that beauty. So in order to help me finish some of my blanket projects, I showed last time my Norah George blanket club from January. I received my Norah George blanket club for February, and it is Valentine's Day themed. So if you are a member of the blanket club, a Harry Potter one, and you would not like to see February's colorways, if you have not received them, look away now. They are stunning. Oh my god. So these are a Wizarding Valentine's Day. So we have this one. This one is called Eyes as Green as Fresh Pickled Toad. This one here is called Cho Chang. This one here, which is my favorite, oh my god, is Madame Puddyfoot's Tea Rooms. The next one, which is also beautiful, is Romelda's Chocolates. And this final one here, which is also gorgeous, look at that, oh my god, is Enchanted Galleons. This set is absolutely beautiful. I really, really, really love all of these colours. Like, I'm nearly thinking of doing a project with these rather than a blanket. But I'll see. But yes, that's my acquisition. That's all my knitty content actually. I guess I haven't made a huge amount of progress on things, but I'm ticking along, and February is the month of finished objects. I can feel it. But yeah, I do have a few little pieces that I want to talk about, you know, knitting content-ish related. So some of my favorite knitting podcasts, there's so much knitting content on YouTube in my subscriptions at the minute. So Hannah of the Corner of Craft, she is doing 3 videos a week, and it is giving me life. I'm loving it, and I watch her religiously. And she's just a breath of fresh air. I love Hannah. So she has 3 videos a week. Joanna from Stitching the High Notes is doing her weekly studio vlogs, and they're out every Sunday, so enjoyable. And then what else am I enjoying? But there just seems to be, like, a lot of my favorite podcasters are just back in a kind of schedule, or, you know, sticking to a schedule, and there's just so much content. It's great. Especially in lockdown, when there's, you know, nothing else happening. It's nice just to snuggle up and watch a podcast and catch up with people, see what they're up to. It's nice. Oh, actually as well, Grace, Mina and Marceline of Hey Brown Berry, Knitting Extract and Babel's Travelling Yarns are doing a spinning project. I can't spin. I'd like to be able to spin, and they are doing a project called Fluff to Stuff, and I'll link that down below. And they're hosting kind of Zoom nights with speakers coming in, and they look very interesting. And if I was a spinner, I'd be jumping on that. So if you're a spinner, yeah, I may purchase some hand spun, but I never really thought about it. I'd like to spin myself, I think. So maybe that's something I'll take up this year, as if I need another hobby. But yes, check it out. It looks really interesting. And what else was there? Oh yes, I was browsing through Instagram, as I am one to do, and there was some beautiful, beautiful photography by Veravalamaki that caught my eye. She seems to be churning out patterns. Now, they aren't released yet, but she had like a stack of jumpers, and there was this beautiful cabled one. There was a beautiful colour work. Looked like a ribbed brioche affair going on as well, and they just look stunning. Some of them, I'm like, I can't wait to see kind of full finished objects. I think a lot of them are out for test knit at the moment, so as soon as some of them released, I'll definitely be jumping on them because they are beautiful. Veravalamaki is very, very talented. Have I knit it? I did. I knit one of her stripes and squares. I knit one of her jumpers years ago. But I really love them. I love the Interpretations project that she runs with Hohi Locatelli. There's always some beautiful projects there. But yeah, they really caught my eye, and I'll link her Instagram below and you can go see some of them because they're really pretty. But yeah, that's about it in terms of content. Personally, it's been a long couple of weeks. I've been very busy in work. It's been quite stressful. I've been trying very hard to get up earlier in the mornings. So previously, when I worked in the office, the work office, which was a considerable distance away from my home, I used to commute. It used to take me 2 hours to get to work and 2 hours home. So I had a long commute, which I do not miss, but it meant that I had to get up very early. So I used to have to get up at about 6:45-ish, and now I struggle to get up at 9:15. So I've been trying in the last 2 weeks to get up at 7, go out for a walk. The last few days I've been getting up and going for a walk and getting a cup of coffee, and it's just been really nice just to feel like I've accomplished something before I start my work day, whereas I felt previously that I was just behind on everything when I was struggling to get out of bed and then just start work straight away, and I was just feeling like I was on the back foot. So I've been really trying to do that. I've watched a lot of Netflix and different series. So I watched Bridgerton. I think the whole world has watched Bridgerton. It's good. It wouldn't be my most favourite thing I've ever watched, but it is good. It's a period, modern take on a period drama, I guess. The clothes are amazing. The cast is beautiful. All the people in it are really, really pretty, and it's nice. It's really nice to look at, and some of the people are really nice to look at. But yeah, I finished it. Like, I watched it all, but yeah, it was good. I'd give it maybe a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'd watch a second series. I think there is a second series in the works, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, I need to watch more type thing. Another show I watch is Snowpiercer. It is on Netflix. It's on series 2 now, and it's like a week by week thing at the moment because it's new. And it's about a apocalyptic type time where everyone left in the world lives on a train that just goes round and round the world. And it's just, the complications of, caste society on a train. It's quite adventure-y, action-y, yeah, science fiction-ish, not really. Adventure. Anyway, it's very good. And I enjoy it. And then as well, for light-hearted comedy, I watched a show called Dead Pixels, which is on 4OD, which is Channel 4 on demand, which is a UK channel that has like a streaming service. So for catch up kind of thing. And Dead Pixels is a show about like nerdy people who play a video game called Kingdom Scrolls, and it's a comedy. And if you liked Peep Show, if you've ever seen Peep Show, you may enjoy this. It's kind of crude at times, but it's quite funny. I find it funny. So yeah, I flew through that, watched that in like a day, which is not ideal because now I'm at a loss. So I'm going to start watching Defending Jacob this evening whilst I knit on, I don't know what I'm going to knit on tonight. I think maybe my love note, try and get that done. Even if I could get, halfway through Sleeve Island. I think that's 3/4 length sleeves actually. I need to actually check what it is. But I'm going to go quite long as yarn will allow, I think, on that one. I'm trying to knit full length sleeves where possible. because a lot of my sleeves end up like this, bracelet length. This is a long shirt, but you know, yeah, I get bored. It's laziness. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'm behind on my book, so I'm not going to talk about that because I talked about it last week and I haven't read much since, so I have nothing much to say on that. So I don't even know why I mentioned it there, to be honest. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to go. Thank you all for watching, if you've watched this far. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me today. And keep safe and healthy and enjoy your knitting. Talk to you all soon in 2 weeks. Bye!